Hello everyone, welcome you all to today's class. Today it is our second lecture of the topic sets, and I hope you have enjoyed our first lecture in which we have already studied sets, its definition, notation, representation of sets, types of sets like finite, infinite and empty sets, and also we have studied subsets, supersets, equal and equivalent sets, right? So we have already studied these basic concepts, and at today's lecture we'll cover universal set, power set and intervals, and we may include some questions from exercise 1.3 of NCERT textbook. So shall we proceed? So coming to universal set, the name suggests universal means it is from universe, right? Means larger scale. Okay, whenever we visualize universe, it means it is a very, very big and something which contains everything. Right? So universal set is something like this. So whenever we define universal set, we have to just like universe contains all of us. So universal set contains every set, all other sets. Right? So we define like this: universal set denoted by U is the set which contains all the sets under consideration. It contains all the sets under consideration. So whenever we say it contains all the sets is fine. And what does it mean? The set under consideration. So it means it varies from situation to situation, case to case. For example, if I take set of integers, set of whole numbers, set of natural numbers and set of rational numbers, and for all these sets, the universal set may be the set of real numbers, because set of real numbers contains all these sets like natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and so on. Right? Similarly, whenever we consider the classes, class 10th, class 11th, class 12th, like this, school contains all the classes. In this situation, school can be taken as the universal set. Similarly, whenever we take the triangles, it may be right angle triangle, yeah, it may be set of isosceles triangle, yeah, it may be set of equilateral triangles. So all the triangles are contained in the set of all triangles in the plane. So that's why the term is all the sets under consideration. So in case of triangles, we cannot take school contains triangles. In case of numbers, we cannot say the number set of real number contains all the classes. So we have to be specific in these cases. Okay, so for example, if you can take, for example, if you have set of natural numbers n, set of natural numbers I can be taken as set of whole numbers, q can be taken as set of rational numbers. Okay, so for all these cases, we can take set of real numbers are the set of real numbers can be taken as universal set because R contains all these sets. Similarly, this is example 1. Similarly, if you take, suppose you have A equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, if I take B equal to 0, 2, 4. C set equals set C equal to 1, 2, 3. I may take set D equal to 4, 5, 6. Now, in this case, your A is considered as universal set for B, C, D. So, it means A contains all these sets. So, under consideration means under this situation, we can say A is universal set for B, C and D sets. In this case, set of natural numbers. One more example, this is also a question in the book. Third example, you can say set of right triangles, set of right angled triangles. I can take this one, and also suppose A. B is set of equilateral triangles. Set of equilateral triangles. So here U will be set of all triangles in the plane. Okay, just have a look at it. See the examples. First case, NIQ, I mean natural numbers, whole numbers and rational numbers. Set of this. R is taken as set of real numbers, which is universal set. Second case, when we are given A, set A like this, B, C, D are contained in A, means A is superset of B, C, D. So for this, A can be considered as universal set. Third one is set of right angle triangles, set of equilateral triangles. So in this case, universal set can be set of all triangles in the plane. Is it clear? So universal set means it contains all the sets. Yeah, you can say it is the superset of all the sets under consideration. Okay, we will proceed to the next. So power set of A. Power set of any set. So power set is basically what? It is the set of all subsets. So the key word for power set is set of all subsets. And we define it like this. Power set of A. Power set of set A denoted by PA is the set of all subsets of A. So power set of any set is, it is the set of all possible subsets of that set. For example, suppose I take first example is, let me take A is an empty set, A equal to 5. So if I want to write power set of A, it will be 5. Okay, and also you know 5 is subset of every set, right? And every set is subset of itself. We have studied this in subset subtopic, right? So whenever you write A equal to 5, a power set of A is the set containing 5. A 5 subset of every set. If I write here B is, suppose only one element 1. So I can write power set of B. This is 1, 5. Here you see I have taken 1. So this is a set, right? But this set has one element 1. This has 1. So every element of this set is an element of this set. In fact, this is the B only. Every set is subset of itself. 5 is subset of every set. So by default, whenever you consider the subsets, the set itself will come and empty set will come. So these two sets will be, there in any set. Every set is subset of itself and empty set is Fi is subset of every set. Okay, so if the set is having one element, the set itself is coming and empty set is coming. So two elements. C is 1, 2. So the set contains two elements. Now power set of C. You have to consider all the subsets of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, then 5. So see here. So if you observe, so in this power set of C, so each element is a set actually. Each element is a set. So this set is having one element 1. So every element of this set is an element of this set. Every element of this set is an element of this set. Every set is subset of itself. Empty set is subset of every set. Right? We have 4 elements here. One more example I will take. D set 1, 2, 3. So power set of D will be what? It is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, 5. So the similar way you can see this. Every element here 1, we have 1 here, 2, 2 here, 3, 3 here, 1, 2. Elements of this set 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3. Then 1, 2, 3 the set itself and 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now by this time you might have observed a pattern in these cases. So set having set having no element, power set of A having one element, set having one element, power set has two elements, set has two elements, power set is having four elements, set having three elements, power set is having 8 elements. Okay, so could you observe any pattern in all these 4 cases? When you observe these 4 cases, so certainly there is a pattern. So if you have observed, it is fine, or let me tell you. So when you don't have any element, 5 means empty set, A is empty, means 0 elements, here 2 to the power 0. Power set contains 1 element, 1 element, 2 to the power 1, 2 elements, 2 elements, 4 means 2 square, 3 elements, 8 means 2 cube. Okay, so this is the pattern. So it means you can conclude here, if number of elements in A equal to n, then number of elements in power set of A equal to 2 to the power n. Right, so this is the observation. So whenever you have to find the number of elements in power set of any set, it is 2 to the power n, where n denotes number of elements in that particular set. Or in other words, you can say the number of all possible subsets of a set is 2 raised to the power number of elements present in that set. Okay, so let's write down this. If number of elements in A equal to n, then number of all the possible subsets in A is 2 to the power n. So if the question is find the power set of A, that's fine, you know how to find it, and number of elements in power set also. If the question is, if A has 5 elements, what is the number of all possible elements what is the number of all possible subsets of A? So number of all possible subsets of A means that is basically number of elements in the power set of A. Okay, basically these two concepts are same. Whether you write power set of A or you write number of all possible subsets of A. So that is 2 raised to the power, what is the number of elements in the set. So I am repeating this question. If A has 5 elements, so number of all possible subsets of A will be 2 to the power 5, that is equal to 32. Yeah, you can say number of elements in the power set of A is 2 to the power 5, that is equal to 32. Okay, clear? So next concept is intervals. Because intervals you might be having the idea, interval means gap, right? So it means whenever you are watching a movie, in between that interval, it means, so it is a gap, some time you get some time gap, right? So interval means basically it's a gap. Yeah, you can say that gap only. So here what does it mean? Interval means what? So interval means, so basically we divided it into two types. One is open interval, the other one is closed interval. And for any type of interval, whether it is open or closed, suppose we consider A, B belongs to R. We are considering two real numbers A and B such that A less than B. Then, so if you, so here you see the set of real numbers, the set of real numbers x such that A less than x less than B is called an open interval. Open interval. Okay, so set of real numbers x such that A less than x less than B. So this is called an open interval. And we write it as, whenever we study open interval, so we write it as x belongs to AB. You see the bracket. So for open interval, we use this, parenthesis. Yeah, we may use this bracket also. Right? So x belongs to open interval AB. Okay, it means A less than x less than B. So this is lower limit or lower end. Here it is upper limit or upper end. Okay, lower end is always less than upper end. Okay, and here you see, so it means basically open interval means this. So whenever we want to plot it on the number line, so I am taking the real number line here. It is A, it is B. So x lies between A and B. Whenever we say A less than x less than B, it means x lies between A and B. X takes the points in between A and B. But x not equal to A, x not equal to B. So end points are excluded. So we put a blank circle here, and this is the points between A and B. So A less than x less than B. So it means x takes the values in between, and x takes the values between A and B. X not equal to A, x not equal to B. That is the crux. Okay, so x takes the values, all the values between A and B. But endpoints are excluded when you plot on the number line. So you see, since the points are not included, so we are having it as what? Blank circles, right? Okay, so whenever you have to write it like this, so this is called basically the writing in the set builder form. We'll take some questions in between. So next one is coming to closed interval. So in closed interval, so again AB belongs to set of real numbers and A less than B. So the set of real numbers x such that A less than equal to x less than equal to B is called a closed interval. Called a closed interval. Okay, so it is denoted by x belongs to closed interval AB. Observe the bracket. We use square bracket here. So x belongs to closed interval AB. So the difference between open and closed interval is here endpoints are excluded, means not included. But here you see A less than equal to x less than equal to B. Here we are including the endpoints. So while taking the number line, so if you have A here, B here, and in closed interval we use like this. So here A less than equal to x less than equal to B. See, we are including A and B. So we have taken A and B as dark circles. Here blank circles, here dark circles. So it means x takes the values between values from A to B. You can take values from A to B, right? So it means all the values between A and B included. X can be equal to A, X can be equal to B also. Okay, so this is basically closed interval. And sometimes one side open, one side closed. We may get the questions also. So it means here you see, whenever you say A less than x less than equal to B, it means x belongs to, see, A open, B closed. Similarly, if you have A less than equal to x less than B, it means x belongs to A, B. So A closed, B open. So we can call it semi-open, semi-closed interval also. Okay, just have a look at these things before we proceed to some questions and wind up the class. So finally the questions, some of the questions we already have included in our examples. Okay, so if you see power set and universal set, I have already taken some questions from 1.3 in examples. And I am sure if you try to do such questions, you will be able to do it. And the next one is, after studying intervals, so some of the questions based on interval concept. Write the following as intervals. Means we are given these intervals in set builder form and we have to write it in interval form. So first one is x such that x belongs to set of real numbers 0 less than equal to x less than 7. So 0 less than equal to x less than 7 means we can write x belongs to 0, 7. Here you see 0 closed, 7 open. Right? This end is included. So it is closed interval. X such that x belongs to R, 3 less than equal to x less than equal to 4. It means you can write it as x belongs to closed interval 3, 4. Done? X belongs to R, minus 12 less than x less than minus 10. So both the ends are exclusive. So you can write here x belongs to open interval minus 12 minus 10. Please write the brackets, I mean notations correctly. Right? You can't be like you can't be careless here, because the bracket, writing the bracket properly has its meaning. So if instead of parenthesis you take square bracket, the concept is different. So whenever we enclose two numbers within the parenthesis, so it signifies that is open interval. So instead of taking the this bracket, if you write square bracket, it signifies closed interval. If you use curly bracket, suppose you write 1 2 curly bracket, it means that denotes a set having two elements 1 2. So please be very careful. So because it is the starting of 11th standard, I am telling you, so if you try to be careful, you really can be very confident and very comfortable in mathematics in senior secondary classes. So shall we proceed next? Write the following as set builder form. Here we are given this is given in closed interval form basically. So here what you can write down, closed interval is x belongs to closed interval 6 12 means we can write x such that x belongs to R 6 less than equal to x less than equal to 12. Done. Here we can write the set as x such that minus 23 less than equal to x less than 5. Okay, so here closed, this is open, right? It is left closed, right open. For this you can write here x such that x belongs to R minus 3 less than x less than 0. Okay, it is open interval. So please have a look. Okay, so I hope the three concepts we have studied today is very clearly understood, and I am also sure you will be able to solve all the questions of 1.3 exercise of NCERT textbook. So thank you so much. Looking forward to see you in the next class.